Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lee. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use Kong ACME plugin to get a free SSL certificate. Let's get started. First of all, let me open my terminal. I'm going to open Tmux and then log into my server. Then I will need to open the browser. Go to my blog. This is the blog post. Before we start, I would like to give you a little bit of information about this plugin. First thing you need to know is this plugin supports single domain SSL only. If you need to use multi-domain or wildcard certificate, you need to request your certificate directly with the certificate authority and then upload to Kong. Lastly, this plugin generates the ACME validation token automatically. Once the validation is completed, it will fetch the certificate from ACME server and then store it as the certificate and SNI objects in Kong database. Without further ado, let's get started. So we need to deploy Kong first. I'm going to reuse some of the commands in my previous post. This is a post about different Kong deployment methods. If you want to know deep list deployment or hybrid deployment, I highly recommend you to take a look. So let's just create a Postgres container first. And then we will do a database bootstrapping. Okay, let's come back. So as you can see here, I'm mapping the host machine port 80 to the port 8000 of the Kong proxy services, 443 to 8443. I'm also exposing the admin API through port 8001. This is for demonstration purpose. Normally you wouldn't want to expose your admin API publicly. This is the very important environment variable you need to use with the ACME plugin. What this does is it will point Kong to a certificate trust store of different operating systems. So if it's a Ubuntu, CentOS, Alpine, it will be able to know where to look for the certificate store. Let's start a Kong container. Let's have a look. No problem, as you can see, Kong is running now. So next, we just need to create our dummy services. And then under the dummy services, we need to create our dummy route. As we can see, there is a host on our dummy route. So this is the domain you want to put on your certificate. In my case, it will be acme.demo.liy.id.au. So the protocol will be HTTP and the path will be this one. So this is a fixed path because it's a ACME standard. Now let's go back to my host machine and then we will have a look what certificate is being used right now. ACME. As we can see, we're using the Kong self-signed certificate at the moment. Now we just need to enable the ACME plugin. Please take a look. There is a config.domains here on your ACME plugin. What this does is you authorize the ACME plugin to get the certificate for this domain or the subdomain. So this is not necessary to be the same as your host on the route. So for example, if I want to allow the ACME plugin to request certificate for all the subdomain under demo.liy.id.au, I can put a star sign there and it will just authorize the plugin to do so. Let me add the single quote here because I've got a star sign. Next one, you need to accept the terms and conditions of the ACME provider. Also, you need to provide an email address here. Some ACME providers are quite strict about the email address, so you must provide a real email address. And then lastly is the storage. So because I'm using Postgres as the data source, I'm storing the certificate into the Kong database. If you deploy Kong in debless mode, you probably want to use Redis here. Once that's done, we can request our certificate. There are two methods to request a certificate. The first method is by calling the route from a different location or anywhere. So let's go back to my host machine. Let me just call this route acme.demo. Let's have a look. Not yet. Let's try again. As you can see now, the certificate is issued by Let's Encrypt. So we have a valid certificate now. This is one method of requesting the certificates. The other way is by using the admin API. So I'm going to create a second route and with a second domain so you can see it in detail. So let me just create a second dummy route here. And for the domain, I will just put my new domain here. It will be acme.demo.me and keep it like that. We need to patch our plugin because previously we only allow the ACME plugin to request certificate for my previous domain. So I need to add my new domain there. Let's have a look. Plugins. So this is the IP. Sorry, this is the ID. Okay, let's come up a little bit. So this is domain. We need to patch that. Curl localhost 8001 plugins. Okay, so I want to keep the existing domain. So I will just put star.demo.u. Oh, I need to have the single quote again. And then I will need to add my second domain. So this time I will just put a single domain here. Okay, let's have a look. No problem, it's added. So now we can try to request our certificate through admin API. Before you request the real certificate, you can test it to see if the HTTP challenge flow works or not. So let's come back here, change the domain back to our domain. So it will tell you whether or not it will pass. Because it passed, so we just request the certificate straight away. Okay, so you can see the certificate is requested successfully. So let me just do an open SSL and to check. I'll just change the domain here. Okay, no problem. You can see the certificate. It's a valid certificate from Let's Encrypt. And if we go back to Kong, we can see the certificate is stored here with the private key. And also if you check SNICE, you can see these two domains added there. So when you make a request to Kong with this host name, it will use the certificate automatically. Okay, so that's all I want to show you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave your comments down below. I will try to get back to you. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.